Taming, shouldn't, mastering negative advice in English. Hello learners. Welcome back to another session on modal verbs in English. Today we'll be focusing on a really important tool in our communication toolbox. Using shouldn't for giving negative advice. It's a simple but powerful way to suggest that something is not a good idea. Let's start off by understanding what shouldn't actually means. It's a contraction of should not. When you say someone shouldn't do something, you are suggesting that it is a bad idea or the wrong thing to do. This form is often used when giving advice about what not to do. For example, you shouldn't stay up late before an exam. This advice implies that staying up late could have negative consequences, like not performing well on the exam. Now that we understand what shouldn't means, let's look at how to use it in a sentence. The basic structure is subject plus shouldn't plus verb, base form, plus object. For example, they shouldn't waste their time on unimportant details. You shouldn't eat so much junk food. We shouldn't forget to call mom. Remember, when using shouldn't, the verb that follows it should always be in the base form, regardless of the subject. Shouldn't can also be used in questions and responses. When used in a question, it can imply that the speaker thinks the action is a good idea and is surprised it hasn't been done. For example, shouldn't we take a break? Suggests that the speaker thinks a break is a good idea. Responses with shouldn't often agree or disagree with the advice given. For example, no, we shouldn't. Agreeing with negative advice. Yes, we should. Disagreeing with negative advice. And that wraps up our exploration of shouldn't for giving negative advice. Remember, it's a great way to suggest that something is not a good idea or could have negative consequences. With a little practice, you'll be giving advice like a native speaker in no time. Until our next lesson, keep practicing and don't forget, you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of the learning process. Happy studying!